out to my email list. So there'd be people coming on. Anyways, I'll wait for you guys to come on as long as I can, but I do like to talk, so I will talk because I want to come on, share something of value, answer some questions if anyone wants to pop on. If no one wants to pop on, I'll pop off. Hi, friend. How are you? Hi. Thank you for joining, friend. How are you? Where are you guys coming in from? Where are you guys coming in from? It's funny. It was 6 years ago that I started doing lives about online teaching and dyslexia therapy. And I remember my niece coming in and she's like, I'm the only one here. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Roll with it. And we're still here. So if one person listens to this, you get value, you get your answer. That's really all I care about today. Dallas. Okay, so Dallas, I have to say, I don't know your name. However, I talk to the most teachers and dyslexia therapists from Texas. And when they fill out a form and it's essential, I'm like, yep, it's another Texan. Love it. Congratulations. How's Dallas treating you today? How is Dallas treating you today? So I'm Michelle. I'm from started Rewire for dyslexia during, started Reach Rewire during the pandemic. Started Rewire for dyslexia this year. Left teaching overnight really quickly in 2015. I didn't have speech. I didn't have choices. Knew that I still wanted to teach, particularly reading. Oh, wow, that's amazing. Yeah, Texas is doing good things. But on the other side, when I talk to teachers, Texas is over. A lot of people in Texas are overwhelmed. I've talked to someone like 70 kids on a caseload. Wow, that is like crazy. So do you work in like a very specific dyslexic school? That's what I'm wondering. If 99% of your students are dyslexic, or are you in like small group pullout? So yeah, I came from a blessed space. In 2012, I was trained as a dyslexia practitioner per my school, who said, if you don't get trained, you're not gonna get tenure. But I lost that job. I lost my speech. I didn't have a choice. And I knew I wanted to keep helping families. I knew I wanted to keep doing what I chose to do at 5 years old, which was to teach, doing what I love to do by 2012, and, really being a practitioner. Oh, you're private. Are you online or in person? Yeah, have a school. What? That's amazing. Does it serve homeschoolers? Does it serve like daytime students? You got a school. What? That's amazing. Congratulations. Are you expanding? I love that. I'm clapping you up as assuming. I don't know if you're a woman. However, I'm assuming, are you a woman? I'm clapping you up as a woman empowered, running her own business. I know that that's not an easy thing to do, and that's why I do show up here pretty consistently because, give a shout out to Shelton School. Amazing. I love that. If that's okay. Hope people don't track you down now. Yeah, come join you. I'm in Miami. That's a long commute, my friend. That's a long commute. And have you thought about expanding and going getting some virtual people under you? Because Texas is like a really saturated area. It's a really special area, but there's a lot of experts in that area, and that's actually not the norm. So the Shelton School might need to help out more people, because then you max out on your one-on-one ability to support. Sorry, I had to pause. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so think, when we're in this role as a woman who is an empowered entrepreneur already, you've already proven concept of a school of people that love you. 99% of them are dyslexic. You're serving them. I'm assuming you have a practitioner license. Do you have other people working under you? I love these conversations. They're so fun. And yeah, this is why I hop on here, guys, because honestly, I invested over $50K as an entrepreneur because I didn't have a pathway out of teaching. I started helping teachers during the pandemic, and I didn't even realize. I was just tutoring. I was like, didn't realize providing therapy. I didn't realize I had another skill to share. And I think that we as teachers don't realize we as dyslexia therapists don't realize how many skills, as special educators, we don't realize how many skills we actually have. So I love supporting teachers. No worries. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, you're so sweet. I love supporting experts and really helping you see kind of beyond the clouds of maybe what other people are telling you to do. Maybe like I just shared in my stories. I have a lot of people coming to me and say, I set up a website, I'm doing social media, I'm in Facebook groups, I can't find clients. My first business advice to you, and you're welcome. Thank you so much for staying. Hi, Morgan, if you're here. I encourage you to use this time and drop a business question in the chat so that you leave with something, and the person or people that hear this replay, they leave with something too. Because even if one person watches this, that's honestly my goal. I just want to help the experts be more empowered, because it's not an easy journey. I've worked with a lot of people that are thinking they're stuck at $40 an hour, and I really want you guys to understand the need, that you're in demand. If you're sitting in front of me and saying, I want to be a fitness coach, I'd be like, no. I can go shut off my stove. Hold on. See, that's how easy online can be. Okay, so if you were like in front of me like, I want to start a fitness coach business, I want to sell skincare, I want to do real estate, I'd be like, okay, sorry, I can't help you. However, as a special educator, as an Orton Gillingham expert, as a dyslexia therapist, it's the other side of things. There's so much demand. Think of yourselves like your eggs right now, okay? There's so much demand. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for joining, friend. Tell us, where are you coming in from? We already had Texas pop in here. Where are you from? And thank you for coming in. Maybe she came in, she came out. So really, it's like you are in so much demand. And just like eggs right now, eggs are in demand, okay? Every time I go get more eggs, I'm like, oh my gosh. They're in demand for a couple of reasons. Number one is everybody here is into fitness, and then they rally with their protein and they get their eggs. And then they're in demand based on, of course, the economy. But the government and everybody involved in the egg producing are not going like, oh, you know what? Eggs are in demand. So what we're going to do is we're going to lower the price of eggs to make sure everybody gets them. No, they can't do that, because that's going to put pressure on farmers and all that. All right, why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because I want you guys to think of yourself as eggs. You're just as fragile as eggs right now. You're just as special as eggs. You nourish people like eggs. I know, kind of went off on the metaphor. When you are in demand in a business situation, and that's why people get online, so they can reach people where they don't have access to them. So, for example, someone was just on from Texas that has a school. Texas is a saturated area. I talked to more Texas-based educators, some that have caseloads of 70 people, some are kids, some that are working over 50 hours a week. Texas is a saturated space. So because of that, a lot of people I'm working with, the demand isn't there. So they get online and now they're in a space of in demand, right? Because the reality of it is, you know, there's no access. And that's something I've been really talking about since 2020. I've talked on podcasts about it. Most recently, Michelle from the Colorful Classroom. I talked on Ashley Barlow's podcast. I've done webinars for Nancy Tillian and Reading with TLC. And I've been helping people since 2023 in Online Business Academy get online to get to the demand, get online to get to the hours they want, the daytime hours, get online so they get the prices they want, and really set up a business with simplicity. And, you know, one of the questions that keeps coming up for everyone that talks to me is like, how do I get clients? How do I get clients? I did this, I put in my website, I did the flyer, I went into the Facebook groups. Okay, that's why I love to work with you guys in business, because those are kinds of things, what I've learned as an entrepreneur, what I've learned that I didn't learn as a tutoring business owner. I didn't learn as someone who provided therapy online. I didn't even learn as I was doing webinars all through the pandemic. I've learned this by being in the entrepreneurial space, but what we do, we are specifically selling a transformation to a family. Like, okay, we can get your child, right? We can help your child progress, have a better life, potentially get into college. We're selling that, which means you're in sales, okay? And just to keep it really simple, if you're saying, I'm having trouble getting clients, first of all, DM me. I can give you some business advice. We can have chatted out. Potentially we could work together in small group where you get your individualized hand-holding experience. Or you could potentially join the academy, which again is hand-holding experience. I keep my rooms small. Hi friend, thank you for joining. So when you're thinking about your business that you want to create and you're like, I can't find my clients, I've seen so many people write like, I've been ghosted, I've been doing this. My question to you this week, and this is a question that I pose to my group and I also encourage them to do, been working with this group since January actually, is how many conversations are you having about what you do? Because that's sales, right? How many conversations are you having? Hi friend, that you're doing, where are you coming in from? How many conversations about what you do? So I'm here for business Q&A. If you have a business question, drop it in. Because if you're just putting yourself out there, like I talked to a teacher team this week who started their website, like I didn't know business was gonna be so hard. They started their website in March. They put on it that they do assessments. It's all pretty, it's all cute, right? But they've only done one assessment. They also did an Instagram profile. They haven't had a client. They also went into the moms group and the local moms group. They haven't had a client. The reason those methods are not working, and then their language was, we're just waiting. We're waiting for the call. We're waiting for the phone to ring. When we work with our kids with struggling readers, like we don't want to wait with them because if we wait, it gets worse. Right? So instead, we come in with targeted methods. We come in with intervention. We come in and we do something. So when you're thinking about your business, we can't think about wait. Hi, friend. Thank you for joining. Tell me, where are you coming in from? That dog looks familiar. Okay. When we're thinking about business, we can't think about wait. We can't think about, I put my flyer somewhere, I did this. It's not about wait. Ah, look at this. Very good. Don't look over here. It's not about waiting. It's not about waiting. We can't wait. That's not business. We have to have conversations about what we do. So if you're sitting there and you're frozen in business and you're saying, this is to any of my business friends. My hairdresser's here. Hi, hairdresser. You don't have to stay. I hope you enjoyed your daughter's graduation. I wonder what pretty dress she's in today. When we wait, we're not going to get business. That's not how business works. Just like we don't wait for a child to learn reading. We want to intervene. We want to target. We want to give methods. We want to use strategies. So when you're in business, you don't want to wait. You want to have action steps to actually move towards what you need to do. So when you're sitting there and saying, I don't have clients, because no one asked me a business question today, so what I'll do is I'll just give you a business advice. The same advice I gave my group, except they are getting really specific hand-holding and one-on-one guidance, is how many conversations have you had about what you do, about how special you are, about the transformations that you provide families? How many times have you mentioned dyslexia this week? How many times have you mentioned struggling readers this week? I'll give you an example. I went to an exercise class. At the end of the class, I said, hi, thank you for the instructor. At the end, there was another lady. We started having a conversation about what I do, what she does. She's like, oh, I'm dyslexic. I hate my dyslexia. And then I got to turn around and she goes, well, yeah, but the reason you're an engineer is because you're dyslexic. People are not going to really read your mind. And you really want to be at, another thing that I see people go wrong with is, for example, a group of ladies that I've met with this week. Their biggest thing is like, I just want to be connected to people I don't know. Show me a business, including mine. Show me a business of where someone buys, is secured, is feeling good, has consistent revenue, has a business that's in full motion because they're relying on people they don't know. And I'm going to show you a failed business. And that's why when you put your name on a list, when you're doing flyers, when you're in websites, when you're on Instagram, because you are getting off of people on your team, okay? I stick to Team Michelle, okay? because you're getting further and further away. That's why I don't teach my clients social media, because it's so far from the space of quality relationships. Show me a business that was not built on quality relationships, including mine, and I will show you a failed business. The reason that people stand in front of me, the reason that people join program, the reason that people doing one-on-one coaching calls is because we get in a room together, we chat out through their goals, they see me on video, they build a trust. You guys are not taking the steps as a business owner. You're taking the steps as a teacher or tutor and thinking, if I put a pretty flyer out there, if I put a pretty website out there, someone's gonna find me. That we don't wait to be found. In business, we go, we target, we have conversations. I was on a call with a teacher, and I literally said to her, if I finish this week, the call was I think on Tuesday, and I don't have any more calls with any more teacher friends, my business is not going to be good. So when you're thinking about, I don't have any clients, I don't have this, whatever, I challenge you to say, how many times have I talked about what I do? How many times have I mentioned the word dyslexia this week? And then how many quality conversations are those? How many qualified conversations? How many of those conversations could potentially lead somewhere? And then of those conversations, how many calls did I have? And then of the calls that I have, how many conversions? Okay, I'll give you an example. I went to a retreat for entrepreneur, and I wore rented clothes, okay? And it was the year I started Online with Ease Academy in 2023. And it was March. And I remember my coach doing a backwards math, because we don't do math. We do reading really well. We don't do math. And we did a backwards math. And it was like, okay, what will be your goal by June? And it was March. And I was wearing rented clothes for an entrepreneur. And everyone's kind of going around like, I want 5, I want 3 new people, I want 2 people in my group. And I had literally just had 8 calls with teachers before I got on the plane. Each of the 8 calls said yes to the academy, so that when I did my math, I counted how many conversations did I need, how many quality conversations did I need, and what would I be able to do by June. And what I was able to do is, my goal was 40 new teachers by June, okay? And because I did the backwards math, I got to 38. But that meant I had to have conversations. That meant I had to put myself in uncomfortable situations, okay? That meant I actually got on calls with people. So even though I'm here and I'm on Instagram, obviously I work with people around the world. I have a bigger mission. You guys are looking for 5 to 10 aligned people. 5 to 10 yeses. I worked with my client, Chris. Chris is an Online with Ease graduate. She's also a Rewire for Dyslexia CEO member now. And we just did a call last night. It was right before her daughter's band performance. And I say, I challenge you, when you go to the band performance, I want you to talk about what you do. And what did she do? She sent me a screenshot while she was at the band performance. Hey, talk to the principal. They have kids for me. And then and now I'm giving her guidance on how to make sure that those kids aren't lost in our busy world. So what happens with business is everyone's making it complicated. When it really comes down to formula, how many conversations, it's sales. How many conversations have you had? How many quality conversations have you had? How many calls have you had? How many times did you say your number? And it could potentially also be how many no's did you collect? Because when you're saying a higher number, you're gonna get more no's. But that means you work with potentially better hours, better clients, and less hours, right? So you conserve your time. Anyways, nobody asked a business question, and that's okay. I hope you found this valuable. Thank you so much for popping on. I'll send this out to my email list. So if they have time to take a little peek at it, they can take a peek at it. Appreciate you guys for being here. Remember that business does not have to be complicated, especially if you're online. Don't go for the shiny object. Well, they're doing it on Instagram, and they're doing it ads, and they're doing it with Facebook groups, and in OG Tutors group, they tell me I can't make $40 an hour, and you're making business very complicated when it's really can be very simple. If you're feeling overwhelmed with business, if you're feeling overwhelmed with getting clients, securing them, or if you're feeling overwhelmed with the online piece, hi Lisa, how are you, my friend? Wow, I've not seen you in a long time. If you're feeling overwhelmed with business, whatever capacity it is, or if you're feeling overwhelmed with the online piece, or if you're feeling overwhelmed with both, send me a DM. Maybe we can figure out a way to work together. Either maybe you're a good fit for the academy that's starting up, or maybe you're a good fit to have some one-on-one coaching. Whatever that looks like. Sometimes people just need like a 90-minute strategy session. It's like, hey, I need this, right? Some people need a little bit more support. The people that are really getting the hand-holding are the people that are building out bigger businesses, really having security, consistent revenue, and working towards, right now, their ideal schedule for September. So I'm going to send this out to the email list. Thank you guys for hopping on here. Next time, maybe someone will ask a question. I want to thank you to the Texas lovely woman who popped on, shared about her school, the Sheldon School, which sounds amazing. So shout out to her. And remember that you guys are the business owners. You have choice. You also have choice to shut off the noise. And the noise is, and I know because I'm here, you might not think that I think this, but the noise is social media. The noise is what everyone's telling you to do. Business can be really simple. It can be 10-minute action steps that are repeatable. I get it. It's not easy. And I'll be honest, I did not know how to be a business owner. I didn't know even how to be a business owner as a tutoring business owner or someone who provided private therapy until I invested as an entrepreneur. It's like, oh, wow, I'm doing this all wrong. I'm not thinking the way I should be thinking as a business owner. I was in teacherpreneur spaces. I was in tutorpreneur spaces. I did not get the guidance I needed. I was overwhelmed with PDFs, modules. I was in other entrepreneur spaces, the same thing. That's why when I work with people, it's hand-holding. I want to give you the hand-holding you need. Anyways, all right, DM me, ease, because business can be easy, and potentially you could be a good fit for the Online With Ease Academy, or you could be a good fit to get some business support. I do limited business support for summer. Hi, my friend, how are you? Thank you so much for joining. I'm actually just about to hop off, but I'll write you down and I'll send you DM. Bye. Because when I close up Instagram, it erases who's been on it, which is very interesting. I'm gonna write to Instagram, dear Instagram, change that. Okay, bye.